I didn't own a sword. King Arthur, Legend of the Hidden Sword is directed by Guy Ritchie and stars Charlie Hunnam. I'm going to butcher some of these names really badly, so I apologize, but Astrid Berges-Frisbey, Jude Law, Digimon Hunsu, Eric Bana, and Aidan Gillian, and is a retelling of the classic King Arthur story where his father is killed and then King Arthur has to come back, take the sword out of the stone, but it's told in a Guy Ritchie way. I really wanted this King Arthur movie to be really good. One, because I enjoy Guy Ritchie as a director. I really like the Sherlock Holmes movie he's made, and all his action movies are enjoyable to watch. And two, I want Charlie Hunnam to succeed in Hollywood. Sons of Anarchy is one of my favorite TV shows of all time, so I want to see him succeed. But King Arthur, I would put it on the same level as Pacific Rim, where it's a fun action movie, but maybe the dialogue and the acting isn't that great. Although I do think Charlie Hunnam does a better job. That's great grammar. A better job in King Arthur than he did in Pacific Rim. And since this is a Guy Ritchie film, it has some of his hallmarks of his directing style in there. And one aspect of his that I always loved is when he has the characters, they talk over a scene, describe an event that has happened, and then they keep cutting back and flash forward and flash back into what's happening and the people describing it. And for some reason, I just love this filmmaking technique. I don't know why, it just, with them retelling the story, it allows them the ability to add stuff, maybe be a little bit more humorous, maybe a little more actiony, and it's just some technique that I've always enjoyed of his. And with the first 2/3 of the film, his directing style with action worked really well with the film. The slow-mo shots into the high-speed shots, they looked well. It didn't seem like those cheesy ones that you see in some of those really bad action movies. It was nice and polished, and there were some cool action scenes. And the first 2/3 were easily my favorite part because I love the King Arthur story and the mythos, and it did a good job setting it up and adding new stuff where we were getting into these characters and we were enjoying them more and more. And I was going into that last act, I was really invested in the characters, but I was really disappointed with the last 30 minutes of the film, and it completely lost me. Random stuff starts happening that they don't really explain that well. There's one really weird thing with this big giant animal that I'm not going to spoil, but it kind of comes out of nowhere, and the action scenes, they just fall apart into CGI messes. In the fight leading up to and the climactic fight of the movie, it's hard to tell what is going on. It is a CGI mumbled mess with a lot of slow-mo and a lot of shaky cam where you can't really tell what's happening in the action. And I was really disappointed because these characters were set up good. Jude Law, he was playing a good villain. We hated him, but he had some motivations, but not enough to make people sympathize with him. And I really enjoyed Charlie Hunnam's King Arthur, but it just fell apart in the end where when I was walking out, I'm like, I don't care about these characters because they're just thrown in there in the CGI mess, and we're not feeling the emotion that we should in this fight scene right now. But I did enjoy that they took some liberties on this King Arthur story and mythos. They didn't go beat for beat the traditional story. They threw in some new things. They cut some things out. It might make some people unhappy, but I really enjoyed what they decided to do and to go on their new path, because it would just be boring if we got another King Arthur movie that's just the same old, he pulls a sword from stone, he fights, he wins, because we've seen that so many times before. So I like that Guy Ritchie and the writers went on this new path with this story that's been around for ages. So for my final verdict for King Arthur, The Legend of the Sword, I'm going to give it was okay. If the last act didn't disappoint me so much, this rating would have been a lot higher, but I just walked out of the theater not in a good mood, wishing it was a little bit better, and that is never good when you're walking out of a movie. Thanks for watching, guys. If you could, please hit the like button. Also, hit the subscribe button while you're down there. And in the description, I have the links to all my social media, so check that out. And also, leave a comment while you're down there. Tell me if you've seen King Arthur and what's your thoughts on it. And thanks for watching.